And we are live. Hello, hello,
Woohoo!
everyone. Oh,
Hi,
Brian's here.
guys.
How's everyone doing today? Hello from Alabama.
At least for a
Here.
Monday. It is a Monday. Those are tough.
Yeah, good morning, afternoon to all you guys, depending on where you're at in the country.
Yes. And happy first day of school for us. So that was a
Woo!
interesting experience today.
Same, same. My kids are e-learning today. As we speak,
Yeah.
there are
Mhm.
three devices in the house, all chiming in and zooming. So a little crazy.
It was my cue to come back to the office.
There you go. Couldn't have been a better time. Hey, Penny. Hey,
Exactly.
Sarah. We're going to start this out today with a little poll that I made just so we can see like what your experience has been in online so far. So I'm just going to go ahead and publish this poll if you guys can chime in. And the question is, have you sold school and or sports photography services 100% online? So and what we wanted to know here is not so much about prepay packages online or proofing online, but more of a like how like if you've sold from start to finish 100% online, kind of like how our method is with Photoday. So just kind of judge, because when we started this whole thing a couple years ago, there wasn't a whole lot of volume photographers doing it 100% online. So it's really interesting to see how those numbers have changed over the last 2 years. And how many more people are actually doing it now. So I see we got a master here. Maybe that's Brian. He's been doing it for a while. Lunch and learn day. That is right. Lunch and learn. Tried this new thing called Photoday, but the jury's still out. Thanks, Brian. But today, yeah, Philip is here from Black River Imaging. I am Lisa from Photoday. If you don't know me, nice to meet you guys. Nice to see you guys. And we're excited to bring you this presentation all about transitioning your sales online today. So a little bit about why. Okay, so, online, and it's such a crazy world. I'll just start out like this. Before COVID actually happened, Photoday was we were already doing this kind of contactless 100% online workflow. And our messaging was more like, okay, this is why you need to try online. We know it works. We developed this solution specifically for you to sell 100% online. But we were still trying to convince so many people to give up paper order forms. And then COVID happened, and now we can't seem to educate fast enough. So I'm really thankful for our partnership with
Mhm.
Black River Imaging and bringing this presentation to you guys today, because there are so many benefits to transitioning your business 100% online. And now more than ever is a good time to try it out and become a master at it. So, you got the no more paper forms, no manual processes. That means you don't have to manually submit orders to Black River anymore with Photoday, because your customer is submitting them for you. And they're always going to be verified and correct. They're going to buy the
Mhm.
images that they want in the products they want and customize them how they want. So you don't have to worry about all that data and image association anymore. And then extending your sales year round. When everything came to a halt, as an example, in this last March, a lot of our users were still seeing sales come through because they had that 30-day sales cycle and there were events still in there. So that was really cool. Oh, hey, Mike. Well, nice to meet you too. So it's sad, I don't think this whole thing with COVID has not been a good experience for any of us in this industry, but I just choose to try to stay positive every day and do what we can to help keep driving this forward. And hopefully you guys are doing the same thing there, because as a parent, I never want to miss out on those professional photos of my kids throughout the year. Now more than ever, they're elementary age. So it's very important for me as a parent. So also with going online, because you're eliminating so many of those processes and steps, you can have like less office staff and to be more lean in all of your overhead and expenses. And then that gives you more time to focus on other proactive tasks like the sales cycle, figuring out what your customer wants. How can you improve your skills, whether it's in sales and marketing, communication, or whether it's your images or a combination of both, so you can continue to improve and get better. So I'm going to kick this off and let Philip talk about BRI and how awesome it is with this Photoday partnership. So let's go.
Perfect. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. Welcome, guys. I really do appreciate you being here today. I've been working with Black River Imaging for 22 years. I actually started when we were known as Sports America. We were sort of one of the leaders in the sports and events industry. And it's been a great experience. I mean, we've seen a lot of changes since then. Obviously, you know, changing from film to digital files has been a big change. But as technology has improved and as our world has changed, companies like Photoday have just been the perfect marriage for us. We really do appreciate everything Photoday does. We appreciate how innovative they are, and what a great experience this has been, because I don't know how we would have made it through this summer without them. I think Photoday has been a lifeline for many of our customers. It's a way they could sort of post reorders online, to post, sort of whatever images they have in a format that will be perfect for our current situation. So let me just go through a few reasons why we really feel that we're the best partnership out there. Like I say, we've been going for a very long time. We were originally founded back in 1970. So we have a lot of experience. We bring that to the table, and that could be reflected in the wide selection of products and designs that we offer. We're always trying to innovate new products, always trying to keep our designs fresh, and at the lead of what's out there. We don't want to be sort of known for old rusty designs. We want to make sure that we always are on top of what's trending right now. All of our products are handcrafted here in our location in Springfield, Missouri. We make everything in-house, and our team has been working here a long time. That's one thing we notice, is we have a lot of workers that have been here longer than me, 20, 30 years. They love it here. They're very skilled, and we like to hold on to those people. So as Lisa mentioned, this is a fantastic automatic system. Very little work for you to do other than upload your images, and then you pretty much let the product sell itself. We pride ourselves in a very fast turnaround time. We usually get most orders out the same day or next day if they come in later in the day, and everything will be drop shipped directly to your customer with blind packaging. There won't be any name on there to say Black River Imaging. This will simply, just have the information on there that pertains to, returns. It'll be in small print. They'll see a note about our return address. So it's a very nice sort of seamless process. We, just to give you an idea, to give you some of our designs here, we are always adding to this list of designs, and we always like to listen to our customers. If there are products out there you're looking for, please do let us know, and we will work with Photoday to make those available to you and to your clients. It's something that we care about very deeply, is always providing what is needed out there. As you know, many of the products are changing constantly. Right now, we are getting a lot of requests for things like koozies, and getting a lot of requests for like cups and water bottles right now as well. So those are things we always look into, try to see if that's something we can add to the lineup further along down the line. But we are very proud to work with Photoday. It's been a great relationship. We love their customer service. Their customer service is fantastic. And they really do care about you. They care about you, they care about us, and they care about the partnership. So I don't want to take up all the time today, but I will let Lisa do her thing. And we have a very special guest today, don't we, Lisa?
Yes, we do, as we give you the top secret recipe. And just so you know, like, this recipe, I like to call it a recipe, it was something that we've discovered over time. With trying this 100% online, when we started in this, we've done a ton of research and a ton of development, but really, it really hones in on two things that you need to be really good at to be successful online. So thank you guys for taking this poll. I hope you guys learned a lot today, and let's just get started on what that's all about. I'm going to close out this poll and let's go. So we know that the 2 ingredients that you guys are going to need are, 1, your images, obviously, and also communication. Those are the 2 biggest things. Oh, housekeeping, because I see Brenda just chimed in here. If you guys freeze at any time, there should be a reconnect button at the top, or just refresh your screen and the video should catch up and you should go right where you are, back to where you are right now. So just feel free to do that and hopefully everything will be good. All right, cool. So let's talk about images. This is where our special guest comes in. We knew in the beginning, as things started progressing, that images mattered so much when selling online. And that is why we created Photoday Academy. Photoday Academy is there to help you with everything from images through communication to sales. And this is something that we created specifically for you guys to give you even more tools and educational resources to get better at this, so you can continue to live the dream, get to the end of no paperwork, no processing, and higher sales, right? That's what our end goal is with this. So I'm going to go ahead and play you a short video, and then we'll bring on our special guest. So give me 1 second.
Eyes on my camera. That's perfect. Okay. The 2 marks that you put on your ropes, this is where the angle and what's the feet stand. And for our bigger shoots, we really bring just about this much gear. We really invested all of our money in learning and educating ourselves so we could improve our business. That's how Smacks took off. We just kept getting league after league, and we really didn't compromise on quality. We didn't try to get too big too fast. Last thing, once you have everything set up, you really want to consider your traffic flow. The crowd control is super important. Look, a little more tilt on that back. Woo! Y'all look sharp. Practice. You know, if they're like super behaved and everybody's into it, I keep taking pictures. So we got 2 deep on the shadows right here. You see when that light's in tight? My name is Jay Boatwright. Welcome to Photoday Academy.
All right, so let me grab that presentation back to where we are, and welcome, Jay. Welcome, Jay.
Hey, how are you?
Thanks for joining us today
Sure.
and sharing all your awesome knowledge as Director of Education of Photoday and your own volume studio yourself. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
After being embarrassed about me walking up saying this is that video at the end, always a little bit embarrassing. But anyways, yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was the boot camp we did down in Orlando. Hopefully we'll do one again soon after all this mess is done. But my name is Jay Boatwright. I'm just north of Atlanta. I'm in Canton, Georgia. The name of our company is Smacks Photography. We've been in business for about 13 years here, and just a quick little history and how everything, I guess, progressed with us for Photo Day. We have a very competitive market. When I first got into the market, we were competing with 2 companies that are well over $1 million in sales annually, and basically they were competing with products and rebates. So the rebate game here in Atlanta got so out of control. It's 30 and 40% rebates. It's really bad. And plus, free buttons, free magnets, signing bonus, whatever you can imagine. Board member photos free. So it was like it was a race to the bottom, pretty much in the market. And so I knew I couldn't compete with these companies that had 7 figures in revenue. The only way we could really compete is through offering a different type of photography product, not 10 years ago, a lot of labs were, they might have been protecting territories and that sort of thing, because somebody might have had an ESPN thing or a new fat head thing. They're just, competing with we call them tchotchke type items. And I knew that we didn't want our company to go that direction. We had started with action photography, and our action photos were really good, and we wanted to go over to team and individual photography, but the only way to compete with those big guys was to offer something different. So we wanted to have really great images, and our images had to be so good that a league is willing to take half the rebate and still come with us. So as you can imagine, people weren't just jumping on board since we were fairly new. They, really didn't know that you could take good photos in a volume environment. So that was our goal. That was our quest. And we just got league after league after league. And we used a lot of Facebook marketing was our biggest marketing tool. And we just kept building year after year. Thankfully, at this point, we're kind of full. You know how it is. We only have a certain amount of weekends, but we're doing really well just with very little advertising and basically just using images, quality images, as what differentiates ourselves between us and the competition. But the reason why I say all that is that since we had to compete in that manner of just having better images and not necessarily competing on rebates, prices, or products, we're just competing on images. Photoday was really very natural transition for us. We've tried pretty much every online marketing or online sales there was. We had SmugMug, we have ShootProof. We have all those, we've used all those tools, and we've never had any success. And from what I saw from the poll, like 60% of you guys are either aren't selling online or have tried to sell online and haven't been successful. And I've tried to sell online as well and not been successful. But really it was because I was with the wrong platform. Photoday is, just completely forget all those other platforms that you use, because Photoday is completely unique. And they have a lot of experience, which is what I liked, is that Lisa has a tremendous amount of experience in this industry. So it was just, it was a very easy transition, because the key to selling online images is you have to have like Lisa said, a good recipe, the communication and the product. Well, I knew we had a great product. We just needed that company to come along that had good communications that we could use and we could exploit to really drive up sales. So that's how we end up with Photoday, is that we had to compete by taking great images because our competition was so fierce with all those other things. And then Photoday was just a natural progression for us. So we're really excited. We hate that COVID has hit, but at the same time, our customers, they want a paperless ordering system. So for us, we feel like it's a competitive advantage, because if our competition isn't taking good photos, they can't offer the Photoday service, because if their photos are not much better than an iPhone photo, in some cases it's worse, people aren't going to buy online. So that means that, leagues, if they want a paperless ordering system, they're going to look to us to do that, because we can sell photos online. Some of my competition can't do it. They have to stick with paper. So I feel like that's been a competitive advantage that's going to hopefully take us through 2021. All right. So let's go over to, this is just a couple of our images. These were done with Photoday jobs. Of course, I love the image you see on the left there. That is a sunset photo. I always try to take advantage of that last 45 minutes where we get some really good sunset photos. And before, when I was using paper ordering systems, I couldn't get real creative with this type of photography, because, I had to keep everything kind of the same in uniform, because I didn't want to get a complaint about one mom, like, why'd they get this photo and I didn't get it, that sort of thing. But with Photoday, you can do with whatever you want. If you see a great sunset and a kid wants to do a different pose, you can do that, and you have the opportunity to sell. So that on the left, that's what we did there. On the right, that's a travel ball team. We do a lot of travel ball teams. And what's great about that is that before doing travel ball teams, we sold banners and mini banners, and then we might sell some packages. But it was almost like I didn't even want to sell the packages, because that means I had to bring paperwork. I had to bring, like I said, order forms. I had to bring cash to make change. I had to bring Square, and I had to make sure that I could run credit cards, and I'm trying to take photos. It was a big pain in the neck. Now with travel ball teams, we hope that they're going to buy banners or mini banners, and then we can sell all the photos on Photoday, and I don't have to worry about taking any payment up front. So it's fantastic. So if you're doing travel ball teams, this is a great thing to do. If you're not doing travel ball teams, it might be a new market for you. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to disagree a little bit. There is some work to be done with Photoday. Okay. I don't want you to think or get the misconception that you're going to shoot and then you're going to post, and that's it. All of our photos we do retouch. Okay, we try to get it really good in camera, so that way there's not a lot of editing work to be done afterwards. But just keep in mind, it's just like your photo day galleries are like a store, and the more inventory you have, the better for your customers. All right, but also the inventory has to be good. All right, you have to make sure your images are the best they can possibly be so you can sell. Now, there's a fine line. You don't want to get stuck in bogged down and editing everything to perfection, because it is volume. But you want to make sure your images look as good as possible. As you can see here, these are a couple images that are straight out of the camera, and then they're the processing that's been done. And I do everything out of Lightroom. I have a lot of presets. But like I said, I like to try to get it as good as I can in camera, so there's very little to be done. So as you can see, the basketball player here, we just basically had to brighten it up a little bit, crop it in, add a little vignette. With the hockey, again, it's a great image out of the camera, but we just made it a little bit more moody, added some clarity, got the temperature on the ice a little bit of a blue color because it's, it's ice hockey. So I thought that looked really good. But yeah, that's what we try to do. And just keep this in mind. I have some numbers for you. We did a league yesterday, and I think we had, let's see, I think we had about 18 teams, somewhere in there. But anyways, we had 282 individuals that we took photos of. Okay. Approximately. A couple of kids might have snuck out of there. I took 1,600 photos. All right. So now, if you thought that if we had to do 282 photos with paper order forms, then that means I have to edit 282 photos to get those right. Okay. So with Photo Day, if I took 282 athletes, but I took 1,600 photos, it's an average of 5.6 photos per athlete. Okay. So now I have to edit 1,600 photos. Excuse me. So it's more editing, but for us, it's still less work, because 282 order forms that we're going to deal with, we're going to touch those order forms 3 or 4 times. It's a lot of paperwork. So we had to bring extra staff into the office in order to deal with order forms. So it's just a pain in the neck. And overall, it's more work editing photos with Photo Day than it is with traditional order forms. But in totality, we're doing less work with Photo Day, a lot less work. And we're also doing work that, for me, is fun. I would rather edit photos than I would going through paper order forms, making sure the right team is with the right individual. So it's just a little bit different of a mindset. But to me, I think that we're photographers, so we should be spending our time on creating images and making those images better in post-processing, rather than dealing with paperwork all the time. Okay. Again, this is a same type thing. We have a big baseball league here. Really, that all that's had to be done is just crop in a little bit, add a little bit of vibrance, and the same thing with a lacrosse league that we did here locally. Just a little crop, add a little vibrance. The post-processing time shouldn't take that long. You should be able to, make a couple adjustments, sync them throughout Lightroom, and then go back and fine-tune things. The cropping takes a little bit more time, but it's worth it in the end to make sure those images look great in your back end. Okay. All right. PD 100. All right. This is something we kind of came up with in the Facebook group, and it's a lot of fun. Basically what it means is if you get $100 order of one individual, it's a PD 100. Okay. And we like to share that in the Facebook group, on the Photo Day Facebook group. And there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, we like to kind of cheer each other on and celebrate the fact that we got $100 order, which doesn't happen very often with paper order forms, but it happens on a regular basis with Photo Day. The second thing is we wanted to see what kind of photos actually created a $100 order. Okay. So Lisa pulled this one up for me. This was a open studio that I did, and open studios are really good, especially during COVID and that sort of things. And we have a video back in the Photo Day in the Academy. Sorry, we have a video about those open studios. But this open studio we did, that's why you see his helmet on. And this order got over $100. So that was really good. But you can see what I did there as I did a half body, I did a full body, I did a half body from the ground, which I'll talk about in just a second, and then a full body from the ground. So just different angles to create a lot of different options for the parents. Okay, PD 200. Okay, and we had people go 200, 300. This image got PD 200. In my mind, there's nothing special about this. It was done well, but it's not breathtaking. But still, giving the parents the option to buy as much as they want, you'd be surprised at how much people will actually spend on photos. So just a regular image, but we got $200 out of it. And I'm never, ever going to get that much money on a paper order form. Well, maybe a few times. I could count it on one hand how many times we got over a $200 order with paper order forms. Okay. Progressions. All right. This is kind of the key to us offering a lot of photos fast. And I've been using Photoday for 2 years, and I feel like that I learn every time that I go out on how to get faster and how to get better. Basically, what progressions means is you're going to take a series of photos, and each photo that you take is going to be a little bit different from the last. In the end, you should have 5 or 6 different looks for each athlete. But again, the point is getting it done really quick. And as you get used to it, you'll get good with your camera, handling your camera. Okay, I want to take it. Well, let's look at a few samples right here, and I'll show you how I go through my progressions. Okay, this is a cheerleading situation. And if you have some cheerleaders and you have a little bit more time than usual, if you spread it out, it's a good idea to do this, because what we did is I set up 2 separate lines for these cheerleaders. As you can see, they're facing different directions. Oftentimes, girls will have a side that they prefer. So if you set it up like this, you can make sure you get both sides of the athlete, and you can get a sitting and standing pose. So that's why I like it. I do this often with cheerleaders. And what I did here is I did a full body, and then I zoomed in for a half body, and then the cheerleader goes over to the stool, or she waits, and then I go over to the stool, take the next photo, and I come back, and then the next time I come back, I take the photo of the cheerleader sitting on the stool. So it's kind of it's an assembly line of how we have it worked out. Okay. So we go full body, half body, then we go from the stool, and then we just turn that other one to black and white. The stool photo doesn't look very good if you do a half body, so that's why we just turn it into a black and white. So we have 4 options for this athlete. And don't forget to do the black and whites, because that's a really easy thing to do in Lightroom. After I've exported all my color images, I go back into Lightroom, create a black and white preset, and then I sync all those images. Now I have black and white. So instead of having, for this particular athlete, 3 photos, now I have 6. So, and those black and whites do sell. So don't forget to create some black and whites out of all your images. Okay. So this is a travel team, and this is more like what I've been doing this season. So I've got, let me just go through my progressions here. I have a full, I sit on the ground for all my photos. I know that's optional, but I think sports images from a low angle always look best. Okay. All right. So I got a full body. I'm sitting down, full body, and I zoom in half body. Okay. Then I put my camera on the ground. I'm using mirrorless camera, so my screen is really good. I can see it outside, so I can put my camera on the ground and have really good auto focusing. So I put it on the ground, and I go portrait, full body. Then I zoom in, portrait, half body, and then we had them switch poses. Okay, and I like that pose. So I think this travel team in particular, we did the same thing as the cheerleaders. We did one side and the other. Okay, so you can see we did full body, and then I put a smile in there. Then after the smile, I went full body from the ground, half body from the ground, and a black and white. Okay, so that's just a progression that I did with this particular league. I will take 2 poses of the athletes if I have time, because like I said, if you have the more photos you have in your inventory, the more people are going to buy. Okay. So for this particular situation, we were able to get lots of images, and I think our average order was really high on this, if I'm remembering right, $70 or $80 an order. So it worked out really well for me. But progressions is key for you to be really fast. Yesterday, those images I told you about, like I said, 282 athletes. I averaged about 16 seconds per athlete, and I got 4 to 5 images per athlete. So you can still do it really fast. You don't have to be slow. But the key to it, again, is having the right equipment. But I have a mirrorless camera. So those of you who don't have a mirrorless camera, really consider putting that into your equipment, because I can't say enough about it. And if you want to move fast, mirrorless is the way to go. So you get lots of angles quick. All right, let's see here. I think that's it. I think we're done with the images. Lisa, is there anything?
Yeah.
I know that was fast.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely fast, and I'm going to touch on the communication now, which goes a little bit more in detail. So hopefully you guys have your notepads out. So
Okay.
if not, this is all recorded, so you'll be able to go back to it later after tomorrow when we get it up. But thanks, Jay, for that. And I think it's important, now I hope you guys can really visualize, like, how can you create the multiple images fast in a volume-paced environment like Jay's showing he does for sports. And then also, this is a natural fit for dance. You're already doing multiple poses in the different costumes, or even in preschool where you're already doing multiple poses. I know a lot of preschool photographers do multiple poses already. So it kind of fits in some areas, but you can hopefully imagine how that could work in other genres of professional photography as well. So thanks, Jay, for sharing all that. All right, cool. So let's go into the communication. Oh, I think, Jay, if you can still hear me, you got a question coming in. Which mirrorless camera do you have? So
I've got, right now I'm shooting with the Lumix S1, but I also have a Fuji X-T3, which I love. But really, all the camera manufacturers are coming out with mirrorless cameras, so you can't really go wrong. You have Sony, you have Lumix, you have Fuji. Nikon just came out with finally with a mirrorless camera that has 2 card slots on it. The 6 and 7 didn't have 2 card slots. I was shooting Nikon, so I didn't use them because I have to have 2 card slots. And then Canon also just came out with 2 professional mirrorless cameras. So really, they're all really good. It just depends on, your preference in menu systems and how the camera feels to you and that sort of thing.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, cool. We're going to get to communication. Okay, so probably the comment that I hear the most when transitioning online is, how long is it going to take to get all of your sales? And the data that we have has really showed us some light. Like, what does a sales cycle look like online? Well, it looks like about a 30-day sales cycle if you do things strategically and you have a marketing and sales plan in place, not only to connect to your customer through different methods, but to convert them from views to purchase. Once you have all of those amazing images, it's now really up to you on making sure they know where to go to find their images and they actually buy them and check out, right? So years ago, when I tried online, it was a lot of let's expire the gallery. Let's expire the gallery. And if they can't see them anymore, then they'll be forced to buy them. However, I don't like to do anything negative, any kind of negative. Like, I feel like cutting them off or telling them we're going to destroy their photos or shut their gallery off forever kind of gives this like negative vibe about our studio. And we don't want to give the customers negative vibes. So you take that concept and you turn it into spin it into a more positive customer service, customer centric way. And the results are actually pretty amazing. So I'm going to show you a strategy here that we know that works, that a lot of our users are actually utilizing today with their sales, but it can be tweaked and it can be modified however you need it in your studio. But hopefully you learn a lot today. So prepare. So in Photoday, we know everyone's pretty much new to selling online. So we have a market and we have a sales kit, but the marketing kit is there to help you prepare and spread the word about Picture Day in advance, whether it's banners because you're doing an event where parents show up on Picture Day, or there's posters and social media graphics and reminder cards and things like that. Depending on the type of Picture Day you're doing, you'll have to choose the proper communication for your customers so you can get in front of people to opt in. Now, one of the fancy things about Photoday is we include text messaging in our service. So you get it for free. And basically how that works is when you create a gallery, you create an access code for that gallery. And that access code is something that they text to our short code. 90738 is the official Photoday short code. It's our phone number. All they have to do is text that custom created access code that you control to 90738, and now they are connected to that gallery and all communications in an automated marketing cycle, which I'm going to show you guys how that works here. So advance pay. Advance pay is our offer or our answer to prepay. Now, prepay on the paper forms, that's something we know that you couldn't really give up because number one, it qualifies your buyer. And when you're moving online, especially when you're spending time creating and post-processing those images, you're going to want to get skin in the game and you're going to want to qualify your buyers. So advance pay is our answer to that. Now, we didn't think it made a lot of sense to get your customer to commit to a package before seeing all those amazing images that you're going to create, because it kind of caps your sales, right? We didn't want any kind of cap on your sales. So with advance pay, it works like a gift card. It's a gift card that they can apply towards anything in the store. So they're texting that code, and when your gallery is in advance pay status, they're going to get a text back that prompts them to purchase an advance pay credit. Now, it's up to you whether you want to require the advance pay credit, or if you want to leave it optional. Now, either way, you can tie a special offer to advance pay, so you can entice them even further. Now, offers and discounts online are an integral piece of your entire overall marketing strategy. It's what works. It's what helps them convert from views to sales. And it should never be viewed as a discount on your services or a discount on your studio. It is actually part of your marketing plan. So you'll want to account for this as you price your products. The number one mistake that I see so many studios make is they take their paper order form and they put it online and then they go, it's not working. Well, it's not working because your paper order form is a different sales and marketing method altogether. The packages don't make sense when you're offering multiple poses. And it's a completely different strategy to get them to buy a package without seeing an image first than it is for them to see the image first and check out with products and packages in your cart, right? It's completely opposite. So you got to take what you've done before in the traditional environment and kind of reverse it and think about, okay, they're seeing these images first that I'm creating. How do I get them to check out, and how do I get them to purchase all the images that I created? And that's what advance pay comes in, because you get that skin in the game and you get that prior commitment and they can spend later. So think of it like a session fee in the portrait world that they can redeem towards products later, and you can give an incentive. A lot of our studios enjoy giving the free shipping offer with any advance pay purchase, and order minimums are a must. If you shop anywhere in online today, there's always an order minimum to get that special offer. Use that order minimum to drive your average order, right? You want them to spend this amount of money. So set the minimum order before you reward them. Minimum orders are great, guys. I can't preach that enough. So best pricing. So one thing that we do, instead of expiring the gallery, and this was the idea that we had, expire your best pricing, because those good volume discount package prices are only available for a limited amount of time, right? You don't want to give away the farm forever, and you want your customer to buy sooner in the online world, and this gives them a reason to do so. So you want to give them time to shop and time to redeem their credit, especially if they're getting paid on the 1st and 15th of every month, things like that. People might not be ready to buy from you today because they're waiting for a paycheck later. So you want to give them a little bit of time before you expire that best pricing to check out, right? To use the credit they bought from you, to use any incentive they bought from you, and check out with that best pricing. So we do this best pricing series for you through text marketing. So if you get them all to, on picture day, prior to picture day, to text that number and or buy an advance pay credit, they are already connected to your gallery, and we can market to them continuously to get them to convert the sale, giving them the best experience possible, walking them through the whole thing. So, and yes, just got a message. I know I'm showing you guys sports examples right now, and Jay came on as a sports photographer, but we, Photoday is used all across the board for any type of volume photography this can apply to. So yes, to events, to dance schools, to preschools, to underclass. We have private galleries, we have group galleries, and we have public galleries. So you can use this any way you want. So this is just an example. It's meant to inspire you guys. And yes, we do. That's a brand new thing to Photoday. We're 2 years into this since launch, 3 years since we formed as a company. And we just now, if you are a volume shooter, if 10% is too high for you, be sure to find us in the support chat or send an email, and I'll give you the email at the end. It's support@photoday.io, and I'm more than open to talking to you guys about volume discounts as well to help you make this work for your studio. So, okay. Mike, that is an excellent question. If you're not supposed to use your paper package pricing, what do you suggest? I actually have a great blog post on that for creating packages that sell on the Photoday blog, which is blog.photoday.io. But I'll note to send that to you too after this webinar is over, so you can check that out. So here's like an example of that text series to get best prices. We are creating the sense of urgency that we're expiring the best prices, just like how you would expire the gallery itself, right? But we're not being negative about it. We're telling them, get the best deal, buy now, not we're going to delete all your photos, buy now. So hopefully that makes sense. In your messaging, you always want to make it positive, and you always want to remain customer centric. You're there to service your customer in the best way possible, giving them the best deals possible to help them convert the sale. But you're still creating that sense of urgency by taking away that best volume pricing that they cannot get after the fact. It sounds better than adding a late fee. I know the late fee tactic, I've used that one as well. It sounds better than removing all their photos forever. It's getting the best pricing, and it keeps your customers happy. So social sharing downloads. We sell two different types of downloads in Photoday. One is the high resolution download that comes with a print release. The other one is a social sharing download. We're calling it social sharing instead of low res. That helps educate your customers. What you never want to do is sell them side by side as an a la carte item in the cart, because that will cause confusion. If they see a download, they'll not read social sharing download for $10 and they see your high res for $50. What do you think they're going to buy? They're going to buy the $10 download, right? So you don't want them to be competitive with each other. You don't want to sell the social download. Rather, use it as an incentive for them to buy sooner. And how we like to use it is adding it to your price sheet and offering it the first 2 days the gallery is on sale. To get excitement, you can advertise prior to the event with your marketing materials. You can advertise it during the event. Hey guys, if you buy a package, the first 2 days I publish a gallery, which you'll get a text notification for, you will get a free social sharing download in any package that you buy. It gives them that free download. It prevents screenshots, because now they're not capturing the sale on social media. Now they're buying a package, getting their download to share, right? It's holding that value, and they're converting the sale sooner. So how you do this in Photoday is you just duplicate a price sheet that you've already made, and you add the social download to each package, and then you put that price sheet on the job. And at the end of 2 days, you swap out that price sheet, and that social download's gone from all the packages. It's a very easy promotion in Photoday. It doesn't cost you basically anything, and it gets people to convert from views to sales in those first 2 days. Had a question come in: if the school will not give me emails for privacy reason, how do you sell? So yes, that's an excellent question. In the world that we are in now, with the school, and if you're referring to underclass photos, that has been something. Communication is key. Asking the school with the intention and explaining the purpose to get those emails, that's got to be the hardest step to overcome, because we're always so scared to ask for data. Or maybe one of the gatekeepers has said, no, I can't give you that at one point. Well, guess what? We are in a post-COVID world. If they truly want a contactless system, they have the communication from the parents for you to send each individual code to. For the private galleries, you just have to explain it to them. That's what you need it for. All you're going to be doing is sending them the individual codes to each parent, and that is it. So they can get to their private galleries or private photos. 9 out of 10 times, they're not going to fight you for it. They're going to understand. As a parent myself, my email is given to all the boosters and fundraisers that is participating in the schools. We sign waivers for that when we provide our contact information at the beginning of the year. You are a third-party vendor, just like a fundraising company, and you are able to get those emails to compete with them. They are actually allowed to share it with you, as everything that I've read, because you are a vendor for that school. So you should be able to check into that further, but you should have no problem getting those emails for private galleries. Hopefully that helps. And then this is just an example of what the text marketing looks like when you're running a social sharing download special. So when you publish a gallery and say you collected advance payment and you go from advance pay to publish and you're ready to start sales, you've uploaded all your edited pro photos, you can coordinate this social sharing download with us, and we send the follow-up text. They get the text as soon as they're published, has your information on it and the link to the gallery, and then they'll get the text stating that for 48 hours only, order their package, receive it. It's very clear to them, and they will convert to sale faster. It actually does work. So what does the sales cycle look like? Expect around 50% of your overall sales. So if you're looking at what did I do last year and last season, and this is going to be a little bit cloudy here because COVID and participation and things like that. But what I always like to say is take your sales from that job that you did the year before, or if it's a new organization, a comparable size job or genre of volume photography, and then say, okay, I'm going to get half of my sales in the first 2 weeks with this strategy. And that's probably where we're going to end up. The last half of the sales are going to come in over the next 2 weeks. On average, if you're uploading a variety of multi-pose images, you're going to see an overall increase of 22%. That's an average, 22% of your gross sales from what you did the year before. Now, I will tell you, our numbers show post-COVID, when we look at average order values, they are much higher in this post-COVID world. And I just definitely think that's because families aren't connecting and seeing each other. So we're buying more as parents and shipping those packages off to extended family that we haven't been able to see or visit during this time, or they're just redecorating their house and they're looking at the same pictures over and over. You're home a lot more and you're just, life has slowed down in general. So they're spending more money. So good news for our industry, the orders that have been coming through Photoday during this time have been much, much larger, almost $13 on average larger than prior. So awesome, awesome. So basically expect 50% of those sales happen the first 2 weeks, but then I would increase your goal a little bit, cut it in half for the first 2 weeks, and then you'll see. So if you're trying to plan your budget, that's how I would do it. Question here. So far, I'm only seeing sports photography. Yes, we do have private galleries, and we also have group and public galleries. So this the examples I showed today and that Jay talked about is all for youth sports, but we also have the ability to do schools. We have free exports. We just did a whole private galleries webinar a couple weeks ago. That's on our site that we can talk about. So today is more just about the strategy, but we do have the ability to do any type of volume photography through Photoday, as well as private galleries. And Edward, your question, with no paper sales, how do we identify the subjects as they are being photographed? At Photoday, we created, so we got a couple different options there. So how it works in the group or public setting is we have 3 search options for your customer to choose from. We are the solution that has Face Find. Face Find is facial recognition, and it happens when you upload your job to Photoday. And what happens is when you upload a job, we look at all the faces, it creates a little data map based on that face. And then on the group and public galleries, when your customer goes into that gallery, they click the link from the text, they're prompted with a few different search options that you have control over. You have Face Find, you have tags, which is basically like a folder structure, or you have view all photos, obviously. They can use Face Find, which then upload or snap a selfie or snap a photo of their kid, and it will find every image that that face appears in and present it to them very quickly. Works great for youth sports, high school sports, dance schools, anything like that. In the private gallery setting, we have private galleries with each person gets their own special access code to access their gallery. Instead of QR codes or barcodes, we use our Photoday Capture app. And Capture app is basically like Face Find, but it's for you, the studio. So you would snap a photo, a reference photo, or you can use previous data as a reference photo. And then when you upload your professional photos, it will match all photos to that specific reference photo and separate it out for you, manage your images for you. Think of computer vision. That's what Face Find is, computer vision. Instead of you using your eyes to match data and images, you're allowing Face Find to do it for you. That's artificial intelligence, and that's how it works, guys. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, the auto SMS that happens, the auto text SMS is a short message. And what happens in Photoday is when somebody connects to your gallery and you publish a gallery, they will get a series of 5 texts, strategically placed them, not to bombard them so much, but to give them notification. Because as you know, as a smartphone user, which I'm sure most of you are, there's a lot of distractions on our phone every single day. There's like Facebook Live notifications, phone calls, text messages, emails, all that stuff. So you can't rely on the one message and then done and for them to get the checkout. So we have your back with Photoday's automatic text messaging. Once you publish a gallery, they're opted into this series, and they will only, yes, all webinars are on our website, but these messages will only go to people who have not made a purchase yet. Once they made a purchase, they exit out of the campaign. So you don't have to worry about us bothering the same customers over and over again. It's smart enough to know that they made a purchase, and then we're not going to send them any more text messages. So we give them little reminders up until day 30 to get through checkout. And man, if you look at the traditional paper form world, a lot of us, by the time we're done shooting, processing forms, running payments, depositing checks, figuring out bounce checks, sending the orders to the lab, getting the orders back from the lab, delivering them, then they get home, it's a lot of times 4 weeks, give or take. So by the end of 4 weeks, everything's done. But the difference is once you upload the Photoday, everything else is automated. You don't have to worry about all those other steps, and the orders are going to go right to their doorstep. So as you're waiting in the auto SMS, we are here to support you. We have live chat available to you guys. You can also schedule a call with us at any time if you prefer to hop on a phone call. But we're here to support you as your first job is on sale. Any questions that you have, any hesitations, if you made any mistakes along the way, we know that transitioning can be tough. And we're here to help you along the way. We have an amazing support team, and we have live chat. When you're logged in, you can reach us at any time or tour our support articles when we're sleeping at night if you need to. Now, after 2 weeks, I always like to say, now's the time to expire your best pricing. That's what we talked about before. I would always get that communication out to your schools or your organizations in advance. Be like, hey guys, we're doing this online this year. You're going to text the code. You're going to make an advance payment. If you want free shipping, make the advance payment if you're doing it that way. And then make sure you buy in 2 weeks, because after 2 weeks, like, the prices are going to go up. So make sure that if you want the best deal possible, to expire your best pricing, or to purchase in 2 weeks, and then you expire the best pricing. This is another custom text campaign that we have that we can set up for you. Again, you just use that little chat bubble and we attach it to your gallery for you. John, that's a great question. Do you have email marketing or just text marketing? We are upfront based on all the automation is through text marketing. However, we do have email marketing for the private galleries to send them each their access code, and you have control over emailing that out to those people in the private galleries. Or we also have flyers that are generated that you can create and email out to contacts if you have their email addresses. But as far as the automated marketing, we're using text marketing because the open rate is much, much, much higher than email marketing. We have a great webinar. All of our webinars are available for replay at webinars.photoday.io. And we have a great webinar for that. And private gallery is exactly what it is. It's a private gallery where only that subject can see their own photos. It's totally private, just for them. That's what a private gallery is. So hopefully that makes sense. Just a little bit about Jay was talking about PD100. Just wanted to show this to you. As your gallery's on sale, we always say, hey, go ahead and share your Photoday big orders, your orders over $100. This kind of just happened organically. We just didn't even realize that this was going to be a thing until we launched live and saw the orders come in. And those orders, I will tell you, in the beginning of Photoday, the first orders that were rolling in were so high, I was going crazy, because my background came from a volume studio. We were doing school, sports, dance, and I worked there for years, and I was always trying to figure out how to get the average order value up through different methods, whether it was proofing with dance schools or whether it was sports and traditional forms, and rearranging my packages. So to see those big orders coming in, that's what you guys are going to experience with your first jobs, as many of our users share, especially when they first start selling with Photoday in our Facebook users group. Also, what you can do is review the buy rates checklist, because this is a big, big thing, right? When going online, Yeah, sales are higher and people spend more, but participation's sinking. Well, it sinks for a number of reasons, but I think the main reason, at least from my own opinion, what I see participation sinking is that one, the images aren't good enough. If the images aren't good enough, you're not going to convert the sale if mom can take a better picture with her own phone, right? Two, the communication's not there. So that's why we're doing this today. Images, communication. You get both of those down, you will not have problems selling online. I will promise you that. And I can feel confident enough to promise you that. But those things have to. So we have a complete, it's in detail, boost your buy rates checklist in the studio panel when you sign in. So you can go through each step. Stephen, that's a great question. Is there a demo video for the on-site day of photo process? Actually, right in here in your studio panel, you have a setup picture day and a sell picture day here. Both of those are step-by-step guides for you, downloadable in a PDF. It's free to visualize or train your staff. Also, in your studio panel, once you sign up, you have access to Photoday Academy, where Jay shows how he does the multiple poses and progressions in a volume. There's lots of videos in there and previous webinars for you guys to watch through. You can totally Photoday and chill instead of Netflix and chill. So you can do that too. So demo the gallery, guys. I can't stress this enough. If you're totally bored right now and you got nothing else to do because your kids went back to school or they're doing e-learning and you're done with tech support for the day. I'm still not done with tech support, by the way. But make a demo gallery. It's totally free. We don't charge you for galleries, anything like that. Make sure you're knowledgeable and comfortable with the entire process from start to finish. I can't stress this enough because your confidence will shine through in your sales and everything that you do to your end customer. So if you're not confident, if if you don't know exactly how it works and your customers are asking questions and you get a little hesitant, they're going to be hesitant and you don't want that to happen. So always be knowledgeable. Practice makes perfect. Build a demo gallery out. It's a great sales tool to show your organizations or share with new organizations how you can be completely contactless and how you're selling online, and show off your work in the gallery. Put real images in there, show your best work. So as they're opting in and flipping through your demo gallery, they see everything and what you're all about and the tools that you're using for picture day firsthand. So, and woohoo, in about 30 days, you will have successfully transitioned your first job 100% online. And, like I said, we're here to support you guys all the time. Anytime that you need it, we're in that support chat bubble. And of course, you can always reach out to us through email as well. I'll share that email here in a minute. But I love this quote because it's so true. Your marketing plan is not as important as how you plan to invest in the happiness of your customers, giving them exactly what they want. More images of their children, a variety of images, as well as an easy way for them to buy them and reminders. And of course, incentivizing them with the best deals possible. And for you readers out there, I do have a blog post here. I'm going to share that link with you guys. But first, I want to show you. So in order to, I'm going to publish this here. This is our sign up link. So in order to get into the users group, you'll want to go ahead and sign up first. But we have a great Facebook users group for you guys that Jay was talking about earlier. And this is where our current users are posting, sharing their experiences, talking about everything with the whole transition to online process, or there's a lot of good questions in there. Feel free to join our users group. Make sure you sign up first so you can get in the users group. We like to qualify a little bit there because it is strictly for Photoday users. We like to keep that group clean, not a different, like how the other groups are going around. There's all kinds of things in other groups, but this is strictly for Photoday users, so you guys can feel comfortable to ask questions in there and get answers. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any more questions here. I'm gonna go back through, I think I got most of the questions here. And if Philip and Jay are still on here, they can chime back in and we can do some Q&A if you guys got more at the end.
Exactly what it's.
Oh, hey guys.
I'm here.
You guys been listening the whole time?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. But yeah, but thanks for tuning in. I think we're right at about an hour. We did good. I didn't get too long-winded.
Yeah.
So.
That's good.
Yeah, I know sometimes I can ramble. So especially on our show. But if you guys want to look, I was going to show you the webinars replay link, which has all the webinars on it. But there's better, for those of you who don't know the ins and outs or want to see a demo of the studio panel and how it all operates, I suggest checking out either the private galleries webinar or the group and public galleries webinar. We just did those within the last couple weeks, and that'll give you a deep dive into the functionality of Photoday. Super easy to use. I always get that question, how long is it going to take me to get up and running on Photoday? I mean, it's really, I demo all day. It takes me like 5 minutes to throw a gallery online and get people connecting to it. But probably like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. It's not like a steep learning curve. I think your biggest learning curve is going to be what we talked about today, which is communication and the images. And everything else, you know, we try to make the interface super simple for you. So awesome. I think we're good.
Absolutely.
Nobody else has any more questions. I think we can go get our lunch if you guys haven't eaten yet.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Sounds good.
Awesome.
But it's been great. Thank you, Lisa. We appreciate everything you do for us, and we just appreciate your knowledge. And thank you, Jay, for being here today.
Sure, no problem.
I just love hearing you speak. So it was just.
Well, thank you.
I came for Jay.
You just came for Jay. Oh, okay. We got some
Good.
question about aspect ratios. What aspect ratio should you crop your photo to so it works for everything? So I think most of your aspect ratios, Philip, for your products are already like at a 4:5 or a 5:7, right?
Generally, for most products, yes, they're a 4:5 ratio for any group shot, 5:7 for any individual shot. But you know, that's just working with personalized products with graphics. Obviously, you can be creative beyond that if you're doing just plain prints.
Yeah. What do you do, Jay?
Yeah.
What do you crop to?
I do 3.5:5 crop, and then we always, when we export 5,000 pixels on the long edge. So that's kind of important when you guys upload to Photoday. The file sizes have to be a certain size. What's the largest you could do?
15 megabytes per file max, which is a gigantic JPEG file. We only accept JPEGs. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So 5,000 pixels on the long edge is what we export, and that usually can cover all of our bases.
Yeah, and if you're doing the custom composites where you got text on it or logos, I always like to say design it so it can go either or, to a 5:7 or an 8:10 type crop. So you might want to leave a little bit more room on either side so that text doesn't get cut off.
Yeah, and also just one of the biggest things we see from a customer service standpoint, we tend to get groups that are just too tight on the ends. You know, a lot of newer photographers, they'll fill their frame, which is a 2:3 aspect ratio. Well, very few products are going to be a 2:3 aspect ratio. So do allow for that extra space in the camera when you're shooting.
I do that all the time. I still get yelled at on a weekly basis because when you're taking the photo, you want it to look so good in the camera, you know, and you shoot it too tight. Yeah, I do it every week. I get in trouble for that.
But it's a lot easier to crop in than it is to fill in. So
correct. And there's really no excuse with how big the files are now. You can shoot wider than you normally would.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll see in those other demos, we said the private or the group gallery demo to refer you to. You'll see how your parents can actually preview the image inside the product, and they can like the aspect ratio. They'll see where it's going to get cropped off. They can zoom in and out on it. So when they're creating their products from the images that you create, they're able to see if it's going to get cut off or not. What number in Photoshop do you compress your JPEG to? Do you do any kind of compression when you export, Jay?
I don't. No. I use Lightroom. It's the highest resolution. Yeah,
I don't know if I would recommend straight compressing. Usually if a JPEG file is really, really big, there's probably a lot of metadata stuck with it. Like if you didn't flatten it before you saved or anything like that, it saves those history layers. So you'll want to go ahead and either flatten or use another software to dump that metadata to get the file size much smaller on a JPEG. But don't compress the image quality. I would never recommend that. Hopefully that makes sense.
Technically, the average person wouldn't notice on a portrait if you go down to a 10, but I generally wouldn't recommend it, especially on a group. On a group, you want the maximum detail there, minimum compression. So definitely don't compress the group shots.
Yeah, we use a S1R that has more megapixels. I think it's a 46 megapixel camera for the group shots, and then for individual shots, it's the 26 megapixel camera. But you know, one thing I think that might be beneficial that I forgot to say that's really important for you guys, for you photographers who are just switching over to this initially. Just please don't think that passing out flyers with the opt-in code or putting a sign up during the photo day, especially with your new leagues, that's all the marketing you're gonna have to do on site. When we do a big league that we haven't done with Photo Day before, we still have a salesperson. You can't really replace that salesperson to really help explain how to opt in, how to do the advance pay, and any other questions the parents might have, because it's a big transition from paper to online sales. They love the transition, but you still need that representative there. Find your best salesperson who can make sure that they push those advance pay credits, and at minimum, everybody needs to do the opt-in so they get the opportunity to buy the photos.
Yep. Good advice there. Yes. Get somebody energetic out there that can text the access code for people who, I had to train somebody. My first Photo Day event, parents were, oh gosh, I got to share this with you guys because I thought this was so cool. So I'm out on my first Photo Day event, and you know how we're always scared as a studio that people are just standing behind us taking pictures with their phone? Well, instead of them standing behind the photographer taking, because we didn't have like a lot of space, I'm like directing them all to the sign that says text the access code to this number. So by the time they were done texting the access code, their kids, they were done. They didn't have to. They didn't have to worry about it. I'm like, oh no, you come over here, text the code.
Right.
So
Exactly.
I was like, there we go. Just give them something else to do with their phone. Buy advance pay credit. You know, text the access code. By the time the kid's gone, they're like, no chance to stand behind you.
Yeah. Well, we're getting a lot of right now is, since we are getting to shoot some leagues and they're trying to keep socially distancing and the mask and the whole thing, is we're getting a lot more of where the volunteers have been more active, which is great with us. Usually they just open up the field and let's do our thing. But now the volunteers are staying to make sure the kids stay as socially distanced as possible as you can get a 8 and 9-year-old boy to do. But they're also keeping the parents off the field, which is great. You know, it makes your job a lot easier. But again, you have to make sure that you just can't stay down there on the field. We have a representative out in the crowd, making sure that the parents know what's going on. So just be careful. Don't like get yourself in a little cocoon where you want to go there and shoot. You don't have anybody messing with you. If you don't have a salesperson up there, that's not a good thing, especially the first few times you're using Photo Day.
Yep. Awesome advice. All right. Well, I think our job here is done. I don't see any more questions coming in. So
all right.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Philip. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, Philip. Thanks, Lisa.
All right.
Great day.
All right.
Talk to you guys later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.